Now in its 10th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, live from Harlem in New York City, it's me, I'm Alex, and this is the Ramble. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go down to Florida.
Oh, let's.
Where that woman is having a wonderful time. Are you enjoying Florida?
I am, but man, I take a lot of heat. Like when I went to California recently, I take a lot of heat from people that are very politicized going, how can you live in Florida? It's like, well, the weather's nice. Our neighbors are fabulous. We live in a relatively small town near a big town. So we have the cultural attributes of the big town and then the convenience of the small town. And, I don't discuss politics with friends very much. Occasionally,
you don't want to discuss politics down there with those right wingers.
No, it's just
Although, didn't they have a vote last night that was kind of pro-Democrat?
But I went to my Democrats did well overall in yesterday's voting.
Wonderful.
I went our polling place though, and they changed it. They moved it and didn't tell me, but it's sometimes it'll move on you.
Oh, by the way, for people who are watching us, this was recorded a couple of weeks ago. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but the Democrats overall did quite well, and abortion was the tipping point for a lot of voters because they're not really red in their politics, and not really blue in their politics, but they want abortion to be at least accessible. Because it goes back to my favorite bumper sticker ever about abortion. If you don't believe in abortion, don't have one. I thought that was because it was such a soft hammer, but it was such a truth.
Well, I just, I think maybe the fact that, the majority of Americans believe in people's rights to abortion.
Yeah.
So when this thing happened in the Supreme Court, this made it tougher for anybody who stood up being against abortion. And so all these guys, like the governor of where was it, Virginia, I think it was, didn't get reelected. Just based on the fact that he was pro-life.
Yeah, it was very much a fulcrum in the voting yesterday.
Yeah.
And then the irony is the cities where it's legal, or the cities rather, the states, are celebrating and increasing the tourist tax because people come over from the states where it's illegal and get stuff done. Kind of like women who live in Virginia come to Florida for plastic surgery.
Well, I think we could see this happening a lot. This is a good trend. This is nice to see. But I don't know how it's going to help Biden. That's the only problem.
He just seems so lackluster. Not that that's a leadership quality, but it's kind of nice to have.
The only leadership quality is how he does business for us.
That's exactly
right.
And
if he gets it done, that's all we need to know. But my argument here about Biden, and who knows, by now he may have decided not to run. Because a lot of Democrats are saying, "Come on, please."
Give us something to work with.
You're not doing right by us. You're being selfish, and you're being egotistical by wanting to run again. Just don't run again. Let somebody. Who was it? It was Bill Maher who said he was talking to the Raging Cajun. I'm trying to remember the guy's name. The mouth from the South. The guy I'm talking about. Married to Mary Madeline. James Carville. James Carville. James Carville. And Carville said, the fact of the matter is, if the Democratic Party ran anybody who was in his 50s, he beat out Trump in a heartbeat.
I think you're right.
It doesn't matter who he is.
Yeah, because the age issue is becoming a Biden albatross.
Well, right now it's an age issue because Trump is younger. But if you go get a guy in his 50s or maybe early 60s, game over,
Yeah.
you know? And
Uh-huh.
especially if you get a guy like Gavin Newsom, for instance, who to me would be the perfect candidate.
Yes.
Because
I
he
feel
he
that.
is, in debates and stuff, he would just, he'd make mincemeat out of Trump.
Mhm.
Um, uh,
'Cause he has
he
a lot of charisma, governor of California.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
this would he would win.
Uh-huh.
No question he would win.
Yeah, I wonder if they will. They're probably begging Biden not to run. I would say the Democratic Party, and maybe they'll draft Newsom because I'd vote for him in a heartbeat.
Uh, I think most people would. I mean, they
Hmm.
would hear this guy. They would hear what he had to say. Yes, there are negatives. He has negatives, right?
We all do.
His
Yeah.
record in California, there are little blips in the record, but there
Hmm.
aren't anybody's. I mean, what happens? You get a guy who was a governor somewhere, and there
Hmm.
are blips in their record.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
dealing with different opinions, and some are louder than others.
Well, it
And
isn't so much that they have a voting record. They have maybe they didn't do as well doing this as governor, but they were. But then you can point did this. I mean,
Mhm.
I think the perfect people to run for president and the people who make the best presidents are governors.
Yeah,
You know,
because they've already done it, but on a
well,
smaller
well,
scale.
well, well, yeah, in a microcosm, they've run a country. You know,
Yeah, right.
and so they know how to deal with budgets and things like that.
All the
I was
unglamorous stuff.
expecting a senator to be a good president is a fever dream. You know,
Well, and Sarah Huckabee, announced she endorsed Trump, and she kind of been on the fence. So
Huckabee,
that's
uh,
hard.
surprise, surprise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wonder if she just have a lot of resentment against him
Although
because
I interviewed her father,
yeah,
who I expected when he walked in the door I would hate. I walked out
yeah,
liking the guy. He walked out,
yeah,
yeah.
because there's a certain the Southerners I think have a lot of, I don't want to say genuineness, but they're very people focused. Like when they sit down with you at a table,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
listening to your
Well,
conversation.
he didn't, I mean, he didn't win me over to his politics,
Mm, yeah.
mind you. But I liked him. It said to him, "You're really a nice guy. Why don't you act this way more in the stuff you vote for and do, and so on and so forth." Um, but he was a good guy. I mean, and I'm not talking about his politics.
Right.
Okay, so please don't try to get me. Oh, there's a spam risk trying to call me.
Yeah.
But I liked him a lot. And we had somebody else that was a Republican who got into a lot of trouble that we liked quite a bit too. And I'm talking about just being somebody you like talking to, like sitting
Mhm.
down talking to. You may disagree with them, but you like talking to them, and they're reasonable in listening to what you have to say. And he was quite reasonable, you know.
Yeah, you got to like that, the common senseness
Yeah.
of it. Yeah, and I'm surprised that no upcoming, it could be either party, but Democrats are who I was thinking of, has attached themselves to a few up and coming bands,
Hmm.
because the endorsement of a rocker, if for the 18 to 24 group, would carry some weight. You got to approach on the level of interest, and I think that would be. I'm surprised that no one's done that because
Well, now here, let's go to a subject that we haven't talked about. God, I think since the radio show,
what?
Jim and Tammy Faye Baker.
I love Tammy Faye, love her.
I love them both. And people go, how can you look at what they did? They're robbing money from people. And they didn't do any of that. The people who work for them were stealing the money,
Hmm.
and they weren't
Yeah,
watching over it too well. Because what would
that's it.
happen? This was a church uh, thing. Okay, people would
Minister. Yeah,
people would send cash,
right. With no conditions on it
right?
at
And
all.
they had these money rooms. where there were guys going in there and just, sticking it in their pockets.
I'm going to Subway.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm buying very expensive sandwiches. I mean, it was really amazing. Just
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, and I think that it was just so slack and oversight of any kind down there. Because my mom was one of those victory warriors. For I think it
Hmm.
was $1,000 at the time. You got basically a
Hmm.
timeshare, but it
Hmm.
was unsecured. There were no guarantees, and that's what I told her. I said, "Mom, they're exploiting your faith to get you to buy an unregulated and unsecured timeshare, and it has no guarantees that it's going to be active and viable in 2 years, or especially not in 10, because there was just not enough
Well,
oversight."
but here was what they did. And people say, oh, they were crooks. They were stealing from their minions, their people who believed in them. No, they weren't. They said they were going to build a amusement park for Christians,
Six Flags Over Jesus.
basically.
Yeah.
And they did it.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't lying to anybody. They built the damn thing.
Yeah.
And it had water slides, and it had, roller coasters, and
Everything you want in a Christian based, everything you'd want in an amusement park with a Christian twist.
and in a Christian atmosphere of
Yes.
wholesomeness and so on and so forth. Your children won't be seduced by the devil like they are in
Yeah.
other theme parks.
They aren't serving whiskey.
But they said, send us your money, we'll build this thing. They sent the money, they built the thing.
Exactly. And my mother was not bitter when the whole thing came chumbling down, because she said, she got something out of that. She loved the show, and she
Oh, I
liked
love that show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And like I've said many times, Tammy Faye Baker was one of the people who openly embraced gay people when AIDS struck. I mean, she would hug them, and I think she had a genuine love for people. And I think Jim had a little more ego. He was a little more.
Well, Jim's
driven
still
by-
around. He's still doing a show.
Yeah.
And he's
But,
very right wing.
What else? What other choice did he have?
Right.
But
If you're a
yeah.
Christian minister, you have to be right wing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's so much of his base.
But, when they were together, they put on, I think, one of the most entertaining television shows
Uh-huh.
in my memory. I mean, I'm serious, folks. If you never watched this thing, it was, you would sit there and you would laugh, you would cry, you would watch this show with a full-sized orchestra and a giant audience and the whole thing, And they put on a real show, and I
Yeah.
always appreciated that. And but there were little things that we could say were in bad taste, like they had this kid. I can't remember his name now. What was his name?
Wait a minute. Somebody's house. They
Well-
built somebody's
Well,
house.
this kid had no arms and no legs. Okay,
Kevin.
Kevin had no arms and no legs. All right. So and now here's Kevin, and Kevin rolls out onto the stage.
I know.
Literally rolls out, and they go, so Kevin, we're building you a house at Heritage USA. What was it called?
Heritage USA. Yeah.
And we're building you a house. And so they built this house with Kevin and all his other freaky friends.
It was kind of like a carnival in the
And
1900s.
they lived in this house, and you could visit it.
My mom went to Kevin's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could visit it. In fact, for Kevin, you know how wallpaper, bad wallpaper, has like a trim about halfway up,
Yeah.
It goes around. Well, for Kevin, they lowered it.
Everything to scale. Everything to scale.
I love that show. I just loved everything about it. We used to sit there, and when Kevin would come out, we just, oh my God, it was horrible. We shouldn't be laughing at that, but it was hilarious.
Well, yeah, because if you looked at it with a satirical eye, it almost matched up to like well-driven satire. I mean, if you looked at it like if you were stoned, for instance, and you could see
We
what they were
watched
doing.
it stoned a lot.
It looked like a spoof almost already, So that's what it made it very
Now
interesting.
your mother, because God bless her, she loved them. She'd send them money. They'd send her back stuff, and she got something that you then gave me, and I think I still have it in storage.
Yes. Was
That-
it the doll?
The Susie Moppet doll.
Yeah.
When Jim and Tammy Baker first started out, okay, they started out by doing a puppet show for the, I think for the PT, for
Yeah, Pat Robertson.
Well, they were PTL, but it was for Pat Robertson, whatever that was.
Yeah.
And they had a puppet called Susie Moppet. And this was they did a puppet show. They were entertainers. They felt like they could bring you to Jesus through entertainment.
Might as well. Yeah.
They failed with me, but but anyway, so it had this Susie Moppet, and your mother got a Susie Moppet doll, and it has a little ring you pull, and she says any one of a number of phrases, and the voice is Tammy Faye Baker's.
It is. Jesus loves you.
And I have that somewhere because I know I never threw it out.
Oh yeah, it was definitely iconic. I mean, it was a part of Americana that was unique.
Yeah, I wonder how much I could get for that, say at Pawn Stars.
Oh yeah, because she has a legacy, that Susie Moppet.
Yeah.
And when we've talked about this before, I think when Tammy Faye was on Larry King, last she ever did. I think she died about a week later, and she was so ravaged by cancer. She could barely speak.
Yeah, I think I remember that interview. Yeah.
Oh, it was tragic. It was anguishing to watch. And the last thing she says was, Jesus loves you. He really, really does. And I love you too. And for her, it seemed so genuine.
Yes, I always felt it was. I didn't feel, I think Jim was more of the crook because he was more of the traditional, huckster, religious huckster. Yeah.
Yeah, and he just built. He always had construction projects. Richard Dortch, who was one of his.
Oh, but he's the guy who really got them in trouble.
Yeah. And he also said his compulsion to build. It was Jim Baker's appetite for construction projects that really brought him down, because that's something. I mean, if you have
what brought him down was he had sex with somebody, didn't he?
Oh yeah, that was the Jessica Hahn. Yeah. And then she spun that off into a celebrity and became a muse of Sam Kinnison's. She got her boobs done and eschewed the church, to use one of our favorite words. And then, I mean, Jessica Hahn became quite a celebrity, mainly with the rock and tattoo crowd.
Yeah. But anyway, she that was his downfall, basically.
Yeah. And then Swaggart had a similar experience. He was caught in a car with a hooker, and he was playing her to. Well,
that was Junior. That was Junior.
That was Jimmy Swaggart.
Wait a minute. No, yes, you're right, Jimmy Swaggart. You're absolutely correct. I'm thinking of what's his name, the other guy. There was Jimmy Swaggart, and then there was Falwell, and there was Falwell Jr., and he got caught in something.
Yeah, because Jerry Falwell, I never ever trusted.
Well, here's a story, and you may not know the complete story. I think I told it to you, and this is absolutely a true story. These guys, the reason for Jim Baker's downfall wasn't that he had sex with this woman, and it wasn't that he any one of a number of things that they could accuse him of, because he didn't do them really. He didn't really rob from people. He said, "Send me your money. I'm going to build this amusement park." They sent him the money. He built the amusement park.
Right. There was no malice. I mean, he felt that people were supporting a ministry.
Okay. So anyway, what was now? Where was I going with that?
You were talking about Jerry Falwell.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So what happened? The thing that was the downfall for him is he was very smart in the beginning. He saw the value of the satellites.
Yep.
And he bought a transponder.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a couple of them. And that was what he had for his company. And they were his transponders as long as he kept paying for them to be up there. And they didn't have them. Mm-hmm. So they had to come to him to get satellite time or go to somebody else and get satellite time.
They had to go to Falwell.
No, they had to go to
Jim Baker.
Jim
Yeah,
Baker.
because I thought he had the vision on satellites.
But he did, and
Yeah.
satellite delivery of all his shows. So he had these satellites, and he was just going everywhere and doing. He was doing a dozen shows, and he had this full broadcast outfit. Meanwhile, Swaggart and Falwell didn't have diddly.
Yeah, and it pissed them off. They resented
They
it.
wanted those satellites. And so what this whole thing was over was creating a scenario whereby they would somehow do
over.
something to take it over. And what they did is they got him in trouble, okay? And then when he got in trouble, Falwell went to Baker and said, listen, why don't you just sign over PTL and the satellites to me for the time being?
He painted himself as a white guy.
Therefore, they can't grab that, okay? And then when this is all over and you're free to negotiate and do things like that, we'll give it back to you.
Yeah, right.
Well, they never had any intention of giving it back to him.
So they became very vested in Jim Baker's downfall.
Oh, yes.
Very.
They were.
Yeah.
Well, they were part of Jim Baker's downfall.
Yeah, I think they helped orchestrate it. And I've never liked Jerry Falwell. In fact, you have pressure when you're senior year and junior year to apply for colleges. And I applied for Oral Roberts University, mainly to please my mom. And I think Liberty University. And there were just too many. The thing that ticked me off, I don't mind rules as long as they're equal across the board, but they had totally different rules for the women than they did for the men. And there was a curfew. It was like 10 o'clock on weekdays, but there was none for the men. It's like if women are going to get in trouble after 10, who do you think they're going to get in trouble with? But I just thought it was very anti-woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had a sense of that even when you were younger.
Oh, yeah. And I didn't want to be a part of that.
Right.
So.
Right. But anyway, so that's the Jim Baker, Tammy Faye Baker story. I mean, I often felt sorry that he was not discreet. Okay.
Yeah.
And today, that place, Heritage USA, I think is just a lot of dust and whatever. They showed it recently on a TV thing about what was still there. And it was just the shell of the place. It was the building.
Yeah, and it's so sad because you think of the good times that went on there, and you think of people's hopes and dreams of any enterprise that goes south. I mean, I'll pass like a smoothie store that went out of business, and I'm just so sad because people had their hopes and dreams invested in it, and they had big just big plans.
Yeah, you pass by a Blockbuster.
Yeah. Like, what was the other one? Tower Video.
Tower.
Tower
Was just gigantic.
Yeah.
And it was named after the Tower Theater. What happened was when they were going to build a music store, they bought an old movie theater to put the movie, what do you call it in?
Videos?
The video store in. And they said that this was the Tower Theater. And so they made it Tower Records. It started there in Sacramento, and then it went here and there, and I think there were, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of Tower Records all over the country.
Oh, yeah. And they were great because they had the access you would have to a chain store, but they weren't a conservative, tight-ass chain store. They had really interesting selections that were pretty, like they had European films, and they were pretty bold.
Yeah, but I remember once telling a person behind the counter, listen, you're only selling music, you're not in it.
Yeah.
Because I had an attitude about an album I was buying. You're going to buy that? And I said, hey, you're not the tastemaker here. You're just selling records, okay?
Yeah. So get over your bad self.
You're here to take my money now. Shut up.
You can tell sometimes. I don't understand why anybody would get condescending who's at the counter, at the the cashier.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't the whole idea for you to come in, buy something, give them your money, walk out, and come back again? But
Yeah. Oh well.
Public service.
So anyway, it's always good to talk to you. I got to tell you, this has been the biggest pleasure recently in my life. You know.
It is for me as well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's a-
let's just keep doing it.
Okay. Well, after this is over, we'll set another time to do more of these, and it's just this is a show in and of itself.
Yeah, you'll be my standing
Well, no,
prom.
it's like we never dropped a stitch. You know.
Right. Yeah.
Just kept going. Yeah. Anyway, hey, listen, that's it. That's Lori Thompson, and we'll see her next week. Bye-bye, Lori.
Bye. Later.
Now in its 10th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Let me turn on my microphone. Let me turn on my lights. There we go. I was just trying to send... I'm trying to send a letter off to somebody just quickly. There we go. There it goes. It's going out. All right, fine. There we go. I'm sorry, folks. I'm a little discombobulated today, but Kevin Baker? Who the hell is Kevin Baker? I haven't seen Kevin Baker. Okay, well, then I'm going to remove him. Oh, okay. He jumped off anyway. Let me admit Charlie Wallace, and let me admit Jeff Stein, and let me admit Kevin. And there they are. There are 4 of them right now. And let me then put this here and there. And you see, it's Wednesday. I haven't done anything for a couple of days, so I don't remember how to do this. So, hi everybody. How are you?
Fine.
Fine.
Hello there.
Hello there,
Yep.
Jeff. Hello there, Kevin.
Yellow.
Okay. So, anyway,
Yeah.
my eyes are tearing tonight. I'm allergic. I'm all kinds of things. But anyway, who cares? I'm just getting old. How you doing? What is that, Charlie? What is that? That's new, isn't it?
No, it's been a while, but the square root of -1 is I. 2 cubed is 8. I ate some pie.
I ate some pie. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. That's nice. That's nice. And we're being joined by Alan. Hello, Alan. And here we are, our usual Wednesday gathering. Anything new that we should talk about?
You know who?
Every day.
Yeah, you know who?
Yeah, well, you know.
Sure.
I've decided we are just being run by a mob, a criminal mob. And, we have to just live with it, I didn't ever think the mafia would ever be able to run this country, but they are now. I mean, after all, Trump was mobbed up. No question about it. Come on, sue me, Trump. Come on, I could use it. I've been trying to get Trump to sue me for years. When I was on Sirius XM, I used to say to him before he became president, I don't believe you've got $1 million. I don't believe you got $1 billion. If you've got $1 billion, come in here with $1 billion in cash and put it on my table. And I said, if you don't, then quit calling yourself a billionaire.
Mhm.
I mean, if I were to ask Elon Musk to put $1 billion on my table, he'd just pull it right out of his pocket now,
Okay.
True one.
Yeah.
He said Alex Bennett who?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand. It just doesn't make none of it makes any sense to me. Let me get a tissue here. My eyes are tearing like crazy. I just don't understand what has happened. It just makes no sense to me whatsoever.
We voted for Trump and we got Elon.
Well, no, we didn't. I didn't vote
Nobody
for Trump.
voted for Elon.
So I'm saying we got him.
Well, nobody has asked the question. And I find this weird that nobody has asked the question. And if you do ask the question, they go, "Oh, come on, what kind of an idiot are you? Come on, you're going to do that?" You know, I asked the question, "Do you think the election was rigged?" Anybody got an answer to that one?
Oh,
No, I think people were stupid enough on their own to vote him in.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Well,
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know. I just wonder whether the fix wasn't in. Whatever. Anyway, they're starting to have their buyer's remorse now. They go to these Republican town meetings and yell and scream about what's going on. Mostly they're bothered by the fact they elected for Trump and they got Elon Musk. You know.
Yep.
So that was their handle on the situation. But I don't understand it. I don't know. I'm
I
sorry.
don't understand how people accept the fact that this guy who was not elected by anybody is not officially a government employee, but he has a right to go around shutting down government agencies and firing everybody.
Isn't there a member of the cabinet who could do that for, each member of the cabinet could do it for the particular areas of expertise that they've been asked to handle?
I think
Treating him more than the cabinet. You treat him better than the cabinet. You see the cabinet meeting today?
Well,
That was a shit show.
you notice what he did? You notice the position he took? Standing up, lording it over them.
Yeah.
Yes. With a T-shirt and a hat on in the Oval House. Fuck you. Thank you.
Yeah, wearing a T-shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, you might as well just put the flag on the ground and walk
Everybody else was dressed up for the occasion, including that asshole who's our now Secretary of Defense, who has a pocket square that's an American flag. And I didn't know that you used an American flag as a handkerchief. Can he blow his nose on it? Is that why it's there? That's why I usually would have a handkerchief there.
Yep.
I just...
tough combination.
Huh?
It's a tough combination.
Yeah, it's just, I just look at it all and I say, we're being run by a bunch of mobsters now.
Yep.
A couple of them are mobsters. I don't think RFK Jr. is a mobster. He's just a moron.
Yeah, he's just an idiot.
Oh, by the way, down your neck of the woods, Charlie, you had a child die today from measles because he wasn't vaccinated.
Totally preventable death.
Yes.
He did not have to die.
So why aren't those parents being held to account for being,
I heard somebody say they were Mennonite and they didn't believe in it.
what?
Yeah.
But the Mennonite community doesn't believe in that.
Well, fuck the
That's what you
Mennonite
get, I guess.
community.
Well,
I
I
think,
have some in my family, and they're that way.
well, you know something? Then their kids are going to die.
They're ready to help you, but they won't give you a shot, I guess. I don't know.
I mean,
It's the
I think
weirdest thing.
it's terrible. Any parent who doesn't vaccinate their child against something like measles is
That's
committing child abuse.
So I told my kid, I said, you better not be not vaccinating.
Yeah.
Oh, they can't go to school. I said, okay, that's good.
Well, they can't go to school, can they?
No,
No.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people.
Really?
I've still got my daughter's vaccination piece of paper, that big long piece of paper with all the stuff on it. Even when you went to college, she had to get vaccinated.
Yep.
Because they don't want people bringing diseases in there. They don't want them spreading them.
Yep.
It's not and it's nothing that they have to particularly, worry about and feel bad about. You just
Did you have measles when you were a kid, Alex?
I don't remember. I think I had measles. Yeah,
I did too, and that was before vaccines. So most kids have measles, they're sick, and they get over it.
Yep.
It's if they transmit it to somebody in our age group, then it becomes really dangerous.
Yep.
Oh, really? Gee, I don't know if I've got a
Oh,
measles.
you are worse.
Except for the 4-year-old kid that died today.
Maybe.
Right. Well, apparently the CDC, the old CDC, I guess, put something out before Trump took over saying that one child in every million is what usually dies from measles. So that's a pretty low number. but it is preventable. You know, if the parents vaccinate nowadays, we didn't have
That was
vaccines.
when and they say that 1 out of every 1,000,000 or something dies from measles. My question is that a child who wasn't vaccinated?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they stated in the thing today. I posted it to our little chat group that you're not in, but we could put you in it. But
No, don't bother.
yeah, that's what you said last week. So, but I posted it, and Charlie posted right afterwards that this was preventable, very
Yeah.
preventable. At his age, at 4 years old, they've been vaccinating kids for measles for 30, 40 years. But when we were his age, there was no measles vaccine.
Now, if you've been vaccinated for measles when you were a kid, will that last you a lifetime?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, because I don't know if I
Or,
was.
or if you had measles as a kid.
Okay, I remember getting a bunch of spots on my body. Okay.
It wasn't just that for me. I had a fever. My fever was like 104 for over a week. They were going to put me in the hospital. I
That's
was
because
Really?
your father gave you Ebola too to see if you die.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I mentioned this.
Sorry.
Maybe I mentioned this the other day that I never thought that I had chicken pox, and then it turned out that I probably did, because my girlfriend got chicken pox. No, she wasn't like 10. Okay, she got it at about 23. She got chicken pox, and I said, "Oh boy!" She said, "You better watch out because you're going to get it. You know, you're going to come down with it." And I never got it. And
So
then
they
a
can
couple of years later, when I was in New York, not New York, when I was in the Bay Area, Yeah, I had a friend up in Sonoma, or maybe further up than Mendocino, actually, who worked for a doctor. So I was very lucky with this. But I had come down with something around my eye, and it just was very painful, and I didn't know what the hell it was. So she took me to that doctor, and he looked at it and he went, "Did you ever
You got
have chicken pox when you were a kid?" And I said, "No." He says, "Well, you probably did because you've got what do they call it?
Shingles.
Shingles."
Yeah, I got the same thing in my eye.
Yeah.
Right up
And he said, "I'm glad you got to me because a couple more days you'd be blind."
Yeah.
Nice.
And so I went immediately to the drugstore, got the pills, took care of it, was gone within a day or
Yeah.
so. But
I'm lucky.
$10.
I said to myself, I never had chicken pox. And my belief was now that I probably did, but a small little touch of it, enough to make me immune, but to give me shingles later on in life.
So my doctor, the doctor I had, he retired a few years ago. He tested me for everything like he does all his patients. And there's a blood test to see if you have the antibodies to chickenpox. And he said, you don't. And I said, now what? And he says, varicella. And I said, varicella what? He says, that's the name of the vaccine we give people to prevent them from getting chickenpox. I said, okay. And so I did that. And then I guess in the first year of COVID, nobody was going to the doctor, but yours truly went in and got the what'd you just call it? The damn thing I can't.
The shingle shot.
Shingle shot. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's called Shingrix. It's 2 shots now. So
I think I got both my shingle shots.
if you
I don't know, maybe
Yeah,
I got a
totally.
single shingle shot.
well, so the single before 2017, if my memory serves right, it was only 1 shot. It was only about 50% effective, and it wore off. But this new shingle shot, 2017, called Shingrix, according to what I read, says
It was new.
that's new. And
That's when I got mine, was 2017.
right.
I got
you
mine.
probably
I got mine in the last
Did you get
5
2
years.
shots,
or something.
Charlie?
I got 2 shots. Yeah.
Yep, that's the Shingrix. The original one was 1.
I'll tell you one thing though: if you're going to get some shots, you're going to get your COVID and you're going to get your RSV. And what's the other one you got to get now? What do you call it?
Pneumonia.
No, not pneumonia.
Yeah, you gotta get that one.
No, you
And
got to
then
get
the
that one. I
regular
already
flu
had that
shot.
one. Every 10 years on that one, the flu shot.
Flu and the
I got
pneumonia.
3 of them at the same time down the street. I did not feel well the next day.
Probably the
only got
flu,
2 at one time.
RSV, and COVID, right?
Yeah.
I got RSV and the flu shot, and I didn't bother me at all.
I
Well, but if you got the COVID, maybe you would have gotten like I was. I don't know.
Yeah, but I'd already gotten the COVID.
I got
couple months
way too
before.
many. Well, I'm all up to date on my shots. I feel like a fucking puppy. You know. Has your puppy had his shots? Yeah, we got to take a puppy down to get these shots. So,
I
anyway.
always recommending don't take 2 of them on the same day.
absolutely.
Take
Well,
one.
tell that to the people at CVS.
Well, they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like I said, it didn't bother me. At least the 2 I took.
Well, you're lucky, but
Yeah.
you
Most
know,
people I know that get like the flu and COVID, which they say you can get real sick for a couple days.
Up the street, we used to get our shots at Rite Aid, and then they went out of business.
And they're finding out that you get better, kind of what Jeff is pointing to. You get better coverage if you get the shot. Wait a couple weeks, get the next shot. Wait a couple weeks, and then get the next one because it gives your immune system time to build up antibodies to only one.
Well, as I say, tell that to CVS. What do they know? They just want to give out the goddamn shots.
Yeah, they get paid per shot. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just tell them, this is what we want.
Really?
They do it.
Well, we just say, what haven't we had? What do we need? You know, and they said, well, these are the 3 you need. Here, put your arm out.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing I know, I'm sick as a dog. So,
Yep.
you know.
I won't get the RSV just yet.
Why?
They're still studying it. In the studies, the Pfizer and the GSK, which are the 2 main ones, Moderna came out with one too, but Moderna's based on mRNA, and this didn't happen. But the 2 first of them, the FDA has not given final approval on them yet, even though they're putting them in millions of arms.
But they didn't give approval to the what do you call it shot, the COVID shot. What they did was they gave approval on a test basis or something.
Yeah. This is what they've done with the GSK and the Pfizer, the 2 main RSV shots. What's happening is in the study group, a higher number than normal of people got rather arterial fibrillation or something else. It's a nerve disease, Guillain-Barré.
Guillain-Barré. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, doctor. Yeah, Guillain-Barré. I always have trouble saying that, but
I think that was a song by Prince, wasn't it?
Anyhow, if you look online, you can. It's still today. They're still following it to see if it was what they call cause and effect, that the vaccine, the RSV vaccine, caused it, or just observational. The people would have got it anyhow if they'd get the shot or not. They're still following it. So
Yeah.
But you know, the risk, what they claim is the risk the risk outweighs the benefit. The benefit outweighs the risk of getting it at our age.
Well, you know what happened in Texas? The case you had in Texas, they asked RFK Jr. Well, now what do you think of vaccines? He says, well, we're waiting to see the information on that. Is that how slow the CDC is going to work now?
Yeah, really. They got 7 people still there.
Yeah, they fired everybody.
Really? Oh,
They're
good.
firing a lot of people in the government. Yeah. Boy, the one thing that's really going to be up during this first year, unemployment.
Yep.
And it's totally his doing.
There we go.
What's making MAGA mad is a lot of these people that are firing are MAGA people that voted.
Oh, that's horrible, isn't it?
Maggot people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you know, I mean, we live in a time where a lot of diseases can be prevented, but people get this idea that, vaccines are cause, brain damage.
or they'll track you. They'll put a
Autism was the
bug in
big
you.
thing.
Autism. And that's been so disproven now
Absolutely.
that it causes autism. And I got to
Absolutely.
tell you, I've had every shot I think you could ever get. I got when my parents could get them, they got them for me. I got the polio shot. Thank God for that. Before I got polio, and you know, then as things came along, I got all those shots. And I guess if it's dangerous, you don't live to be 85.
No. Now the MMR or the measles, mumps, rubella shot is usually given, I think, every 10 years or something like that.
Kevin, in your name,
But the measles is lifetime. I don't know why they keep giving it, but it's included in the series.
Kevin, with your kids, did they make your kids get vaccinations to enable to go to school,
Absolutely.
and to be able to go to school?
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
Is my mic on?
Yeah.
We heard you earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and I heard you too, but I
Like I
wanted
said,
a
all
little
the way up into college.
amplification on that. What?
I said all the way up into college.
Now, what happens if somebody at that school says it's against my religious belief to get the vaccination?
Which school? She's been to 4 of them.
Well,
Elementary.
Okay.
Elementary, they had no choice then. And
Well, suppose
really,
it's like somebody says it's against my religious beliefs. I'm a
in college, they'd probably let you slide.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think they do because I think I remember reading that. You have to get through a special, go through a special process. It says, I can prove
Okay,
it.
but still, I'm asking in elementary, for instance, person puts a kid
you can't
in
go to school.
No, they have to homeschool.
Not in California. California just like Kevin's saying. California requires it.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In Texas,
that's
they
when-
require it, but you go homeschool.
And that's what a lot of people did when they didn't want to do that. And they didn't want to get the COVID. They just pulled them out of school and did homeschooling, which I think is a joke.
Of course.
Well, a kid, if they got, luckily, a kid, if they got COVID, probably didn't die of it. Okay? But they could pass it on to an adult who could die from it.
Yeah.
And that happened a lot.
And that happened a lot.
Same thing with measles, like Alan was saying. If they pass it to their 65-year-old grandmother, bye-bye, Grandma.
Yep.
During COVID, man, I didn't leave the house. Of course, I'm not leaving the house. I'm not leaving the house now, so it doesn't really matter, But
COVID's still out there, still killing people.
Yeah.
It's not pandemic, it's endemic, meaning that the numbers are a lot lower.
But are you wearing a mask when you go out?
Me? Absolutely.
Really?
Yep.
You would suggest that you wear a mask?
I would if you're going to be anywhere. A restaurant's hard to wear a mask, and of course the waiter has to get right in your face to get your order half the time. And my roommate and I came down with COVID. We got all our shots, and we came down with COVID within a day of each other. He got it worse than I did, but neither one of us needed hospitalization. For me, it was a cold. It was weird taking the COVID test, and the little line before the control line is the positive line. That line went boing, and I went, wow, I really have COVID this time. I don't know. It probably went through 300 tests in all the years they had it, and that line never showed up. But
so you didn't go get what do you call it? What's it?
I didn't get Paxlovid.
Paxlovid.
I didn't get Paxlovid because the doctor screwed up. But that's because it didn't mix well with some of the other medicines I take. But they have books of alternates. If you take this medicine,
no, if I have slight kidney failure. I don't have kidney failure. I have mild kidney disease or something.
The recent news, and I haven't seen.
And so they gave me the pill, but minus one of the pills.
Right.
Okay.
Yes,
that was what they did if you had if your kidneys were a little off.
So they claim it's been in the news. I haven't seen any studies on this, but it's been in the news the past couple of weeks that Paxlovid doesn't really prevent our age group from being hospitalized from COVID. It does make you feel better, and it helps you get over it quicker, but it's not stopping hospitalizations like they thought early on.
Oh, really?
It's actually just been in the news. I haven't, like I said, I don't know what the studies say, and I don't know where they're getting the information, but it's been in the news past couple weeks. So
Yeah, I've heard the same thing.
yeah, yeah. I like to change the subject a little bit away from medicine. I love Trump. He wants to separate the blue states and the red states. So the red states are poor already. What's
Yeah.
going to happen if you take the blue states away from them? That's where they get all their money.
Yep.
This guy just makes
An idiot.
He's just got no sense.
Total idiot.
Well, they have no, you know, we now realize why he was a bad businessman.
No,
Yeah.
You know,
Yes, I
the
mean.
myth that he was a good businessman, just because he built buildings doesn't mean he was a good businessman. Half of them had to be sold or, you know, change their name or whatever. And some of them, they just bought the rights to his name to put on their buildings. He couldn't make money out of a casino. An almost virtual impossibility.
right, absolutely.
Did you look at that thing I sent you today, a little while ago, a couple hours ago,
What one was that? Oh, that thing. Yeah.
on Facebook? Yeah,
Yeah.
the Trump Gaza.
Trump Gaza. That shows you what AI can do these days.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But he asked to have that made.
Oh, really? I was
AI
going to
did
pull the
not-
thing
according
down
to
and
according
play.
to that. Anyway, remember it's the internet, and you got to believe everything. But he said he asked for something like that.
Oh,
Just somebody
what is
to
it?
come up with something.
somebody came up with it, though. However,
Yeah.
What is it? What is it?
let me see.
Just Google Trump Gaza on YouTube. You'll find it.
Well, wait a minute. I'll
It's a
find
little
it now.
promo for the Riviera down there.
Yeah.
Right
But
on
it
the
is
med.
generated by AI. Yeah.
Right on the med. Yeah.
Trump Gaza. Let me see here. Trump Gaza. Mm-hmm.
You can play it and promote it for him.
I love the one where Trump is just kissing Elon
Yeah,
Musk.
kissing his toes.
That was great.
It's not good on
I
his
love.
toes.
I don't know who was in our group. I guess it was Wayne. Said, you know, Elon Musk has 2 left feet.
Yeah. I didn't notice that until he said that.
Right.
The best thing he said today was that he had wood in his head. He said, "Oh, knock on wood," and he went like this, "Some wood in my head." And
Trump
I went,
did
That's
that?
fucking perfect.
Let me see.
You did that for real?
I can't find it right now, but I'll find
What's
it. I'll
that?
find it tomorrow.
Oh, did you see it, Ray?
No.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. Yeah, for real, he knocked on his head. That's
Oh,
true.
really?
It's just
I
Trump
love that.
or Elon that knocked on his head.
Which one?
Hmm?
Trump or
One on
Elon?
top. Oh,
Elon. Well,
On
here's
his own
the,
head.
here's the thing.
Woodhead.
But I can't show it to you.
Blockhead.
But it's there. I have it here.
Share a screen.
It's amazing. It's actually it takes Gaza and it's got the Trump Gaza in it, and they got a hotel with swimming pools and everything.
Oh, jeez.
they show him in a bathing suit on the fucking pool.
Oh my God, that's a great way to.
2 million people.
It's all generated.
Did he?
You know you
Was
might
it
get
done
free
for
lunch.
him? Was it done for him, or did they
That's
do
what
it?
that's what it said. And that's
I
what
would
they were
only think
saying.
someone would do that to, you know.
You don't think someone would do that?
No, to bash him.
Yeah, I can
No,
see it.
he asked for someone to generate an AI commercial.
Oh, really?
That's what it says. Now, it's the
Yeah.
internet, so you have to believe everything.
You have to research. Do your research.
Do my
Like the MAGA say, you have to do your research.
Yeah.
You don't do your research.
Oh, anyway. Take care of that stuff later. Okay. Anyway, where was I? So, you know, I mean, and there was another thing with Trump kissing the toes of what's his name of Musk.
The meme, yeah.
But what you didn't have, I didn't notice until it was pointed out to me that he's down there kissing and sucking on the toes of Elon Musk. But maybe you didn't notice that Musk has 2 left feet.
Yeah.
Didn't we just say that, Charlie?
Oh,
Yeah.
I was too busy looking at stuff. to
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
2 left feet.
Mm-hmm.
Probably on purpose. Whoever made that did it on
I
purpose.
wonder how much Trump paid Musk to do that, to lick his feet.
But, you know, by the way, I mean, what AI can do these days is scary. Okay.
Yeah, that was one example right there.
But the best part about that was they put it on all the TVs throughout the whole building, and they couldn't take it down.
Which one? The sucking of the toes?
Yeah. A bunch of government employees saw it this morning.
In what building?
I think in
Probably
several
the
places.
Pentagon, right?
Was it the Pentagon? I forget.
I'm joking. I don't know.
Oh well, this is wonderful. You know, how can you fault people for doing that?
Somebody in Yosemite at Lake Mead, there's a mountain or something there, and turned the American flag upside down.
Well, the latest thing is
Trump's pissed about that.
The latest thing is
the
he's
Rangers.
going after, and this is a stupid thing to do. He is going after what was the Smith's name? Who was the Kevin Smith? The guy who led the the purge against him, shall we say?
Oh yeah, was that Mike Smith?
Kevin? No.
Jack Smith.
Jack Smith.
Jack Smith.
Was it Jack Smith? Was it Jack? Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, he is thinking of putting sanctions on the law firm that he belonged to.
He's always doing something every day. Like
He's going after the law firm that he worked for, and probably still a member of. I would imagine sometimes you keep your partnership.
But he didn't go after him as part of that law firm. They made him a special prosecutor or something.
Right, but they're going after his law firm. Now, I got news for Trump. I mean, you can be stupid, and then they're stupid. You really don't sue a law firm, okay? Especially a law firm that hired Smith, because they're probably a pretty damn good law firm.
Yeah.
And they've got a lot of people there who are in that law firm who are ready to just say,
They're more than happy to take the case.
huh? Yeah, absolutely.
They'll take it.
Absolutely. But this is the kind of thing that is it starts driving me insane. I mean, what did Smith do to him? He prosecuted him because he saw that he did something wrong. He was asked to be a special prosecutor. He took the job. He did his job. Okay? What about these people at the FBI are they trying to get rid of because they were all involved in prosecuting a January 6th?
Doing their job.
A January 6th people. They were doing their job. They were given marching orders, go do this, go do that.
That's right.
You know, they didn't do anything wrong.
Nope.
You know.
And they were doing the right thing. They were going after somebody who broke the law.
Or,
It's not like they were following a bad order.
Many of which, by the way, are now being put back on trial because they've committed more crimes after they got out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the amount of people that he released to the streets who are dangerous is amazing.
So
one's dead already.
a lot of Republicans a lot of police officers are Republican in this country, and most the International Association Chief of Police, which is a big organization, posted something and said Trump is not pro-police, and there are a lot of police. I get emails all the time. A lot of police agencies across the country that want to take their votes back because he's obviously not. After releasing those people that attacked the police on J6, getting rid of the FBI, he's proven that he's not pro-police.
I think he should pardon the Mendez brothers myself.
Absolutely.
Well, actually,
yeah, those Menendez brothers.
Actually, your governor, Gavin Newsom, has been asked to do exactly that. And what he has decided to do is to have people look into this and see if they would be dangerous at all if they were released, because you got to ask that question first.
Yeah.
And he said, then if it's found that they could be returned to our society as productive citizens, he said, I have no reason not to give them a commutation. So,
He's going to look at it.
I have to give them new parents.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll get Trump to break off California from the U.S. and we'd be our own state again.
Yeah, but I mean, I think, and
He'd love to do that,
and of course,
too.
the San Francisco, rather LADA is looking at this thing too. He turned it down for a commutation, for a retrial, okay, but he hasn't turned it down for a commutation or whatever. He said he's still looking at it and hasn't made up his mind. So, you know, I mean, all of these, even Newsom, these were all people that are running for office, and they don't want to be caught with their pants down if somehow the Menendez brothers get out and kill somebody.
Yep.
You know, which they won't do, but, you know. By the way, anybody here have any opinion on the Menendez brothers?
You know, I was gonna. I mean, I didn't finish the whole miniseries, so I didn't read the book on them. But I don't know the whole story per se. Do you think the parents, Alex, did maybe abuse them, or do you think it was just for the money? I don't know what to make. I kind of thought they were guilty, really.
Well, I mean, they were guilty. There's no question they were guilty.
Yeah, meaning like, do you think they were they abused at all? I mean, even so, I didn't think
I think there's a good chance they were. Abuse takes many forms.
Yeah.
And this was one of those forms, other forms of abuse. I don't think they beat the kids or anything like that, but they mentally abused them.
Oh, wait, the father sexually abused the oldest son. There's all kinds of evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's what I heard, right?
He forced him to have sex with him.
Over that?
Wait a minute, hold on a second, Ray. Is there something wrong with that?
No, I'm not making a judgment. I was saying.
That's what I say.
They should be grateful.
Right. What father doesn't get horny and fucks his son? Come on.
That's right.
God, that makes me.
And then he started fucking the youngest one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know, the youth is in. You know what pedophiles say? 8 is too late.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
I think that I think they shouldn't have been given a life sentence. Let me put it that way. I think what they did. They definitely murdered their parents. But the question is, the thing was, the first jury was a hung jury. You know?
Yeah.
And the second jury wasn't. But the difference between the first jury and the second jury was, in the second jury, they didn't have a proper defense. They didn't have the money for a proper defense.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what happened to them. I think if they'd had the same kind of defense they had in the initial, it probably would have been at least another hung jury.
Yeah.
And then the city
Their parents were very wealthy, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How come they didn't take the money out of their parents and get good lawyers like Johnny Cochran or somebody?
Well, no, they did use their money, or what money they had that they had available to them to go out and get the best lawyer they could find. I mean, what's her name? Abramson?
Yeah. Leslie Abramson.
Leslie Abramson is a very good lawyer. She gave him a very good defense. So good that they got a hung jury. She put enough doubt in the jury's mind.
She was a great lawyer.
Yeah.
I think she died, didn't she?
I think let me see. I don't know. I know Johnny. She might be gone.
Johnny Cochran died for sure. He had a brain tumor.
AIDS, right? I'm not AIDS, like cancer, I thought, right?
Brain tumor, yeah.
He was going to take your case, Tony, but, you know.
I don't have any cases. Johnny, what do you think? I got burnt from the coffee.
Yeah.
Remember Seinfeld, Alex, when they had the lawyer supposed to be Johnny Cochran and he sues for the coffee?
On Seinfeld, yeah.
Yeah. He didn't sign anything. I kind of did.
I'm getting a knee replacement tomorrow.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Is it a knee replacement or is it the actual knee?
Really?
Yeah.
A full knee replacement.
I hear they're actually better than
This is from a dog, right?
Yeah.
This is from
you got a real
what?
bill to right?
I don't know what. I don't know.
What happened to your knee? Is it just just something you've been getting for years now?
Yeah, I just have really bad arthritis in both my knees.
So they can't do anything about scooping out the arthritis or something?
I already did that. I already had the meniscus taken out and half the cartilage, and that just ended up making it worse. I can barely walk up and down stairs. I can't hike anymore. It hurts whenever I exercise, and
your wife claims you're horrible in bed. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do those knee things I used to do.
Yeah.
The knee.
And now, is your office upstairs or downstairs?
We don't have any stairs.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it's an Eichler home. Of course, you don't have any stairs.
Single story home.
So I would imagine you'll be with us almost every night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah, for months.
Yeah, right on.
Let me
good
know.
when you're
They're
here, Ray.
trying to talk me into that. They want me to do it.
Well, I mean, I don't want to wait. I mean, I figure I'll do it now and then not wait another 20 years and think, oh shit, I wish I did it 20 years ago. So
My knees,
Yeah, we
my,
got
knees
early days.
my knees are a little kind of. Sometimes they get a little wonky and hurt, but I've never really had that much of a problem with my knees. And I played soccer.
I'm surprised that mine knees
I
haven't
thought I
given
would have
out.
gotten it from all those years I was playing soccer, but
I did 3 miles today on the rowing machine in the gym.
what?
I feel it on my knees. I kind of went to the gym just to do cardio. You know where I feel it, Ray? Sometimes you don't spring up as much as you used to. Like, you know, when you bend down and then you try to go up, it's
Oh,
like,
tell me about it.
what are you doing? I'm rowing. That's
well,
it.
mine's way past that. I mean, if I have to go up and down stairs, I mean, you think I'm 90 years old.
I haven't been out in a week.
Like me.
And so Marjorie
nice
wanted me to
day
go out with her today, and my hip was hurting today, so I
Can
couldn't
you
go
take an
out.
Advil or something for that, or no? You can't.
I took a Tylenol.
Oh, okay,
I'm not
yeah.
taking ibuprofen anymore. It's killed my kidneys.
Uh-huh.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good thing I don't take that.
And you don't want to take too many Tylenol every day because bad for the liver.
Liver.
You can
Does it
take
thin the blood too?
up to like 4,000 units or something.
Not at our age, though.
I took too much ibuprofen. I had to go to the emergency room because my kidney I almost had kidney failure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I had, I was doing it for a while, and then I stopped it because I've seen my kidneys are just not working as well as they were. They don't, they're not gone, but I see like the blood work and so on, and certain things that are high and low. But the fact is that I found that if you take Tylenol, it really is less impactive on everything except for the liver. You got to be careful about the liver. So, yeah, I do 2 of them a day if I'm hurting. Sometimes none at all. You know, I take one at night to put me to sleep. I take nighttime Tylenol. Have you ever done that?
Does that dry you out? I don't. My brother sometimes when I had to go, it dries me out at night, Alex. When I wake up, you ever get the dry mouth from that?
I had got that before I ever did the Tylenol.
Oh, because then I used to get up in the middle of the night, I had to go like get a
Because
glass
you're
of water.
breathing through your mouth,
Yeah,
and your mouth dries out. Just get some soda
do it
next to the
nighttime
bed.
that's what I used. My brother said the same thing. He put a little thing with the cup on it.
I'll tell you the other thing you can do to prevent it. Go out and buy yourself some, I say, diet, sugar-free. What are the
Oh, I drink that.
throat
The ice ones that you have, I get that too. now.
No, throat lozenges.
Oh, okay. The Hall's like.
Halls. Yeah.
Okay,
The
yeah.
sugar-free halls. And then put one in your mouth, in the back of your mouth at night
Before
when
I
you
go
go
to
to
bed,
sleep. And it'll be fine.
Yeah, I should do that.
Or you could get one of those masks that holds your mouth closed at night.
I'm not gonna do that. I listen to the radio on there. That's what.
Why?
Remember, I heard you
A
on
lot
the show.
of people do that. The people that have sleep apnea, they wear this strap that goes over their head and it keeps their mouth closed, and then your mouth doesn't dry out.
Yeah, but what happens is you got to, I'm going to sneeze again. What is it?
Go ahead, sneeze.
There's dust
You
in
won't
there.
infect any of us.
God bless you.
Wow, that's some sneezing.
Wow, I sent you some allergy pills, Alex. I mean, take one.
Oh, those are good, Alan. That you told me. I still have them.
Sent you some too?
Yeah, you sent me a pack.
God, I must have been on a nut spree.
But I am sitting over
I
here.
do-
I
it's
really
on
should
my-
do that.
You should.
Wait a minute. Oh, this woman, Lynn Lemieux, when she always sends me these notifications when somebody has died. And she says here, Roberta Flack has died.
Yeah, she died. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. She didn't just die.
No.
She died
like
a couple years ago.
3 days
Oh,
ago.
I
4
thought
days
this was-
ago.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay.
it was earlier this week. Yeah, it wasn't today.
It's a phony death, really.
Like Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's
I
AI.
posted
She's
it on my
really alive and
Facebook
singing.
Huh? Yeah.
Some young woman from Buffy the Vampire
The
Slayer
Vampire
died.
Slayer. Yes, you mean
Vampire Layer.
Michelle
Vampire Slayer.
Trachtenberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was beautiful. beautiful little girl.
Beautiful.
Well, the
She's only
interesting thing-
39.
You know the weird thing about
Yeah.
living,
Look at you.
we're all gonna die.
Not at
Not
39.
me.
Jeez.
Yeah, but I don't expect somebody that I watched who was a kid and is now 39 to die.
No.
I can't
No.
expect that. You know.
No.
I mean, and they're, you know,
I'm waiting for the plaque on your headstone that says, "Alex Bennett, I lived forever."
No, it'll say Alex Bennett. I told you I was sick.
Right.
Yeah.
And then below it, it'll say, "There goes the neighborhood."
Yeah, but you know, I mean, well, you know, who knows when or why?
Nobody knows.
It's just
Sucks.
so
It does.
far I've been doing.
Who
it.
invented this?
Huh?
I like what Bubble says. Wouldn't it be great to know what day you're gonna die, but not what year?
Right.
I'm not sure why it would be great, but it's funny.
Me either.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you would
It'd
want
be
to
a
take
wreck
extra
every year.
precautions on that day, I guess. I don't know. Each year, I don't know.
Yeah, but
But if you know that's the day, well, I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, they could be wrong.
Then wreck because is this the year? Is this the year?
yeah, you never know. But you know, it's okay. It's okay. My life's has been going good. We got a lot of people watching us tonight.
Oh, good.
Everybody wants to hear about your dental work from last Thursday.
Well, how'd you do it?
My dental work from last Thursday.
I don't know.
Yeah,
For a while.
Didn't you go to the dentist?
Yeah,
That's
it's
what they
still
told us.
bothering me. If I sleep on the pillow wrong, it hurts this area and throws it all off. And the next morning, I've got pain. So I sleep on the other side of the pillow, and I'm fine. So, yeah.
So you flip the pillow over and you're fine?
No, I flip myself over.
Oh. Well, you said on the other side of the pillow. Okay, no problem.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, but I can't sleep. I have to sleep this way, not this way. Okay, here, over here. So anyway, you know, I just you know, that was fun. I did not enjoy that. But what the hell? It's nothing. It's just a lot of dentistry. The trouble with dentistry is dentistry costs you money.
Oh yeah.
Because there's no real insurance for it. There's like, you know, I have insurance, pays me $1,500 a year.
Mine too. I just upped it now. I said the same thing.
To what?
I got Guardian. They gave me $1,500, but now I said I want to up the plan because I'm getting older. So it's going to be $70 a month. I said I can go to $3,000 then. So they're going
Does
to
it
Really?
include orthodontics, Tony?
Which company is it?
Guardian Dental.
I have Guardian Dental.
Yeah, they have a new plan now. I just got off the phone with her because my deductible I have like $500 because I had to do like you did. I had some work done, not major stuff. So I called them up. I says, listen, I said, can I get a better? What's the best plan? She says, I think it was Diamond. She says it's $70 and change a month, but I have to go on like your yearly thing. So I have to call them 60 days before my plan is up to up it.
Yeah.
So it's 70 and change, but you go to $3,000 instead of $1,500, and it's automatic. You don't have to wait for it.
Well, the first $1,000 you paid for your plan.
I mean, one crown is $1,500.
Yeah, really.
But still,
Yeah.
that takes care of something. You know?
Yeah, at least you got some. Yeah, you got some coverage. I mean,
Hey,
now-
Charlie.
How much more? What, a month?
Yeah, right now I'm paying $49, I think, or $50. It's going to cost me another $20 a month, but I figure $240 a year for doubling it. I might as well do it, Alex.
Oh, if it's another $20 a month, I'm
it's
gonna
70
I'm
and
gonna
change,
do
you
it
told me.
too. I'll
Yeah,
tell
it's well
Marjorie
worth it. I
about
got the
that
same as
tomorrow.
you.
Yeah.
If you can speak French, you can go to Canada and you'll
Yeah.
get it done real cheap.
Well, you know, here's the thing.
I make that up.
Mexico.
Medicare, while it lasts, should take care of dental as well.
They should. They didn't do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They really should.
They do
Well,
for
Bernie
me.
Sanders had a plan, but the Senate kept voting it down.
They should take also 100% rather than pay off 80%, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And
My
quit
Medicare covers dental.
making these medical companies, you know, rich. By the way, does anybody watch The Daily Show?
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
watch
Very
it
funny.
with Jon Stewart last Monday?
Oh yeah.
I like it.
He in the spirit of doing the show, he had this cup that was on the on his table, and he got so mad he went, bah, 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 damn it, and he picked it up and smashed it on the table. It smashed into a lot of pieces. And he looked at his hand, and he was bleeding profusely.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh
I'm
my
surprised
gosh.
Cart him off to
I'm gonna have
emergency.
to watch this.
I don't think they carted him off to emergency.
No, they didn't. So after the
They
show,
didn't.
anyway.
Yeah, but they didn't, right?
But he would never take his hand above the desk because it was so.
But during the rest of the show, yeah.
They waited until the end and then they carted him off.
Well,
I guess.
during a break, they taped it up.
Oh.
Okay. And then I guess afterwards they maybe determined that he didn't have to go to the doctor or anything like that. But geez.
Oh, so it wasn't that deep of a cut then.
I think he gave a lot of himself
Yeah. No, it was pretty deep.
in the
whole
service of
band
our
came back
beliefs.
from
What?
Bennett was red because it was just bleeding so much.
Oh, no, he was really bleeding. I mean, that was a big cut, you know.
I wish he would run for president.
No, you don't want him for president.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't. He's a performer.
Yeah, but have you ever seen him address Congress? He's incredible.
He's fine and he's wonderful. You don't want him as president. You want him right where he is.
I want.
You know.
Couldn't do any worse than we have now.
I want him. I want him.
You know, there's some guy here in New York who I know just because he's a fan of mine, even though he's a right winger.
I know what you're gonna say.
No, it's not him. Not the one you're thinking of.
There it is?
It's a guy over at WABC, and he has a show from midnight to, I don't know, 4 in the morning.
Oh yeah, I heard you on that show that night, Alex. He does like it overnight.
Yeah,
When you sub.
yeah. I'm trying to remember his name now.
What's his name
Well,
again?
he's running for city council, and I was going to write him and say, I know you like me, so why don't you take my advice and don't run? You're a radio performer. You're not a politician. You know, you're not a person who's capable. You know, all you want is the job because it's a job and it's a political job. But you know, what are your qualifications?
How old is this guy?
Doesn't matter. Look at there's a whole room full of them today.
That's what they told Ronald Reagan.
But that's what I'm saying. These people shouldn't be on
Right.
Trump's. They're all, a lot of them just not the television people. He just put a person on as the assistant attorney general. Okay, the assistant attorney general in the Justice Department, who is nothing but a podcaster.
Okay.
Why not?
I mean, come on. What does this guy know about anything? Oh, he's a podcaster.
He
Whoop-de-doo.
knows how to get Trump's ass.
Well, how about Hegseth running the Department of Defense? That's absurd.
It is, of course, it's absurd. Dr. Oz,
Yeah.
as the head of health and welfare, whatever.
And Dr. Phil was on the ice raids too. Like it was a TV show. It looked like. I mean, it's so stupid.
But the thing is that Dr. Oz is not capable of running Medicare because he doesn't know how to run Medicare. He doesn't know the finances of Medicare and a socially created service. Okay.
He knows how to bill them.
You know what I would have done with him? I would have made him the what do you call it?
The wizard.
Surgeon General.
HHS.
I would have made him the Surgeon General.
'Cause he was a surgeon.
Yeah, fine. I wouldn't argue with that. I'd say that's a perfect job for him. Keep him from running for anything else, you know. But it's amazing, you know, that we're being run by out of work television people.
That's what's scary about it.
God, next they're going to ask Alex Bennett to run.
Well, the closest they came last time was the Secretary of Finance or whatever, the Secretary of the Treasury, who was the guy that's over at Fox and had, a finance show. But that was the only time he hired somebody from television. But I'm glad he watches television. You know?
Yeah,
He watches a lot of television.
he does.
A lot.
And plays a lot of golf.
And then there's a whole purge going on over at MSNBC. I don't know if you've heard about
Yeah.
this. I just heard that they got rid of even one other guy, and that was the Spanish language guy. Was on Telemundo and then went over to MSNBC and is there. And he's out, going to be out as well. They're getting rid of a lot of people, and a lot of this, I think, has to do with Trump. I think they're starting to kind of acquiesce to Trump, and what they did is they made all the people who they fired these, got rid of these people, okay, and then the shows they were on had a staff, and that staff was fired as well. Yep. And if they want to get a job back, they have to reapply for their jobs. It's beginning to sound a lot like the Trump administration, isn't it?
Yep.
I mean, there's something going on at MSNBC where they're just scared shitless of Donald Trump. Secondly, the other thing that's happening with MSNBC is that NBC is taking a lot of its networks and siphoning them off into a separate entity. So they're away from, what's the company that runs them? Comcast. So they're away from Comcast. So Comcast doesn't get affected by anything the news divisions might do. So they're moving all the news divisions to that. On top of that, Lester Holt is leaving the NBC News.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And the question is, why is he leaving? It hasn't been said, just that he's leaving. I mean, are they afraid, that he shouldn't be there anymore?
Yeah, but he doesn't say anything.
He doesn't say anything, but why are they getting rid of him?
No.
And I don't think he left on his own. Lester's far too young to take a hike,
Yep.
He's good.
He's okay.
Yeah, he gets to interview,
I mean,
Iranian president and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
he's polished, is what I'm trying to say.
He's polished. Yeah. I happen to like the new CBS Evening News. I think it's really getting pretty good. I watch it. I learn something every night. And that's
CBS.
That's CBS. Yeah.
It's fake news.
Yeah, and he's all over CBS right now.
Who's all over CBS? Oh yeah, Trump. He hates CBS. Trump. Well, what he wants to do is he wants to screw. Hold on a second. I got to turn something off here. There we go. It's hard to say what's going on over there, but I think that what happens is CBS is a little worried because they're trying to sell off CBS from the old people who owned it, and they're afraid that the government will come between them and the sale of it.
Well, he's also pissed off about the Kamala interview. Said that they asked her a question and she didn't answer it right, so they retaped and re-edited in the right answer.
He's got no case on that.
Yeah,
he's got no case on that at all. Well, we can talk about that some night. He is so intimidating the press. The people he won't let sit in on press conferences or on the daily press briefings, telling, who was it?
Reuters.
No, not Reuters.
AP.
That they couldn't have a seat there because they wouldn't recognize the Gulf of America. Gotta love them, huh? Anyway, hey, thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. Thank you to our good friend Kevin for being here tonight. Of course, as always, Charlie, good having you here. Alan, what a thrill. I say that and I mean it. Ray, thank you, and thank you to Tony, all of you. I give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you, okay? That's our citizen panel, folks, and they're going away. But coming up next is Amy Manuel, and she'll be here with The Intersection, and she'll be taking your calls on Skype at Gabnet Live. I'll see you again tomorrow night, right back here, same time, same station in life, and in the meantime, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye, everybody.